How is everyone doing today? So this is one that I keep getting, and it's one that I searched for years myself. Is the what's the one key to sales and leadership? This is the dying question. This is the one that everyone wants to know. And guess what? There is one. There is actually one key when it comes to sales and leadership. Now we all know that it's not that simple. It's much more complicated than that. Leadership is a very diverse skill. Otherwise, it would be something that everyone did. And same with sales, right? However, if you want to know one thing and how to do one thing and one thing alone, there is one. And I'm going to show it to you because this is what gets asked all the time. And we're going to go over kind of in some detail of exactly what that one key is. So this is one of those things where I taught it, I coached it, in every sales seminar that I've talked about. I talk about it briefly. My mentors have used it for me, saying this is what you want to focus on. It is the defining thing that actually brings us all together when it comes to both sales and leadership. And I'm going to use a handful of my personal experiences and some things that have been taught to me over the time to actually kind of make some of the points. And so, yes, there is one thing. If you are a salesperson, if you are a leader, and you want to make a difference tomorrow, this is the one thing you can start doing. And we'll get into it, okay? So, let's take a look. Understanding. That's it. That's it right there, guys. Understanding. So most people think they know what their clients want without ever asking a single question. This goes to your salespeople. This goes to your employees. Everyone thinks they assume they know what someone's interested in. Like if I hire a salesperson, we think that they're motivated by money. If I hire someone that works in my buying department, maybe they want a 9-to-5 job. We never actually get to truly understand. Now, you've got Gary Vee, Tony Robbins, Dean Graziosi. They will all tell you specifically how all the things that they do that actually shows that they understand their people. So when we're talking about understanding, we're not just talking about surface level. We're talking about truly understanding someone's client, truly understanding who someone is and what it is they're interested in. If you are going to sit there and tell me that I truly understand people and yet people are leaving your organization and you have a high turnover rate, you don't understand anyone, okay? If your sales staff is letting a good amount of people walk out the door that are coming in because of advertising, then they're not understanding their clients on a variety of different things. Now, understanding in its essence means understanding what is important to your people. So let's actually break this down for a second, okay? It's one thing to say, I understand you. Think about your wife. Think about your significant other. Think about someone you've dated in the past. If you didn't understand what was important for them, you couldn't have bought a good gift. And trust me, a lot of us guys out there don't understand our wives. Why do you think 50% of marriages end in divorce? People don't understand one another. They say they fall out of love. They say that, all the different reasons they'll give. But the reality is they don't understand one another. The wife understands husband. Husband understands wife. Wife, husband, husband. Doesn't really matter. The bottom line is when a relationship falls apart, they've stopped trying to understand one another, and they've tried to start influencing one another without understanding each other. You have to be able to understand someone in order to truly win their influence. And the only way to do that is by listening. So, but let's talk about this a little bit more. Let's actually break what it means to understand down into some basic points. So, this is always, if you can't answer the following questions, then you lose. Period. Every single time. Now, let's pause and let's make a statement that everyone knows is true. Can you sell things without understanding people? Yes, you can. Absolutely, every day of the week. If you play the numbers game in sales, if you go out there and talk to enough people, just by talking to enough people, when you start to build value in your product, they will think you understand them because you're talking their language. That's going to happen just by the law of sales nature. However, that is not a good sales career make. It doesn't help you grow organically. And that was always my big thing, making sure that you can grow organically, you can get out there and get referrals and make sure that the people are happy with your product because you did what was best for them. And also on that same regards, can you go out there and actually be a leader and a manager without understanding your people? I'll debate on that one. Can you be a good leader? Now, I'm going to tell you no right now. If you don't understand your people, I would never call you a good leader, even if you have all the other skill sets that are there. Would you be a good manager? It depends on your definition of a good manager. If a good manager is someone that doesn't understand his people, sure. I don't think you can. I think you can manage people, and I think you can lead people without understanding them. But a true powerhouse of a leader and a salesperson is going to take the time to truly understand their people. So let's talk about that. Who is your prospect or client? And this goes for, when I say prospect or client, I'm also talking about if you're a leader, your clients are your salespeople or the people that are working for you. Okay, so who are they? If you can't tell me who they are, and I don't mean what they do, I mean who are they? What's important to them, right? You know, a lot of times, what do people define themselves by? Me, I get defined by my work. That's the big one that always defines me as an individual, because that's who I am. That's always who I've been, and I kind of delved into my work. However, that's changing bit by bit as time goes by, you know. And the people that get to know me know that I'm a huge Disney fan. I love taking my family to Disney World. We actually go once per year. And even if we don't go to park, we stay on resorts. I love spending time with my kids, doing stuff, actually out there and doing things with them. So, yeah, I mean, if you really get to know me, you'll find out that I'm a real big advocate for my family. I like doing game nights with my extended family, my parents, my brother, my sister-in-law, my nieces. I like that family environment. So I am more than just my work. Why is that important? Well, if you have a client that is really big into, I don't know, let's just say, I'm not throwing sports teams out there. It's not going to happen. Skiing. We'll say snow skiing, right? And all of a sudden you find a deal on some tickets, that can take him up to the mountains. If he's a real big skier, even though that may only cost you a couple $100, depending on the price of your product, that may land you a giant contract. But you have to actually understand the people in order to be able to do it. So it's one of those things where you have to take the time to get to know everyone that's around you. That's what a real leader and a real salesperson does. So the next point, what is it they want, right? And this is really a challenging one for a lot of people, to answer. Someone goes shopping for a new car. What do they want? They want a new car. Well, there are things that they're going to be looking for that they want. If someone wants to go buy appliances, well, they need an appliance. They want appliances. Well, sort of. People have an expectation. And so you're answering what someone wants. It's about the expectations they have around your product, around you. Maybe what they want is someone to take care of them, and so they don't want to have to worry about whatever it is you're selling. So those are the kinds of things that, as a salesperson, you really have to understand is you've got to figure out what people want without asking them. Because if you just ask someone, hey, what do you want? You're not going to get the answer. You and I all both know that. Everyone knows that. If you go to an employee and ask them, what do you want? They're not going to answer you. They don't have that answer. It's something you got to figure out. And this frustrates a lot of leaders. I don't have time to this. I don't have time to figure everyone out. Well, guess what? As a leader, this should be the one thing that you are figuring out. Because if you understand what people want and you can provide them with that, you're going to have a lot more time on your hands as a leader or as a salesperson. I was watching a story today about someone that was involved in cars. And they had made an appointment to go in and see this dealer, and they had given the guy his name, and so he took time to actually look them up on LinkedIn and found out that he was big into the non-for-profit sector, and he was doing a lot of work that was important to both the salesmen alike. Now, whether that was important to the salesman, they did the research. So when they come in, he said, hey, I'm really excited to meet you. I looked you up on LinkedIn because I like to know a little bit about the people that I'm trying to help out and serve. And I saw that you were really into this, and this, and this. And I thought that was absolutely amazing. All of a sudden they spent 25 minutes talking about their non-for-profit work as opposed to actually buying a car. And so as they were walking out, the husband looked to his wife and said, I think he has what he needs. They didn't talk about cars. Now, did the salesman have the knowledge? Yeah, sure he did. And did he actually understand what they want? Not yet. But what did he do? Well, the first thing he did, right here, is figured out who the prospect was, right? Now he's going to figure out what they want. Okay? So understanding who someone is, you call it building rapport, you call it, bridging the gap, breaking the ice. I don't really care what you call it. The bottom line is getting to know your clients genuinely is the important part. Okay? So that third question is, why are they interested in your client? Right? That is not right. So it's why are they interested in your, what is it? Product. There we go. So why are they interested in your product? So And here's the thing with being interested in someone's product is that someone is in front of you. They've allowed you to talk to them as a salesperson. So why are they interested in your product? Now, as a leader, what's your product? What do you define as your product? Well, it's the job. Why do they want to work for you? This is more than that. So think about that for a second as a leader. Why does someone come to work? Some people want money. Some people want stability. Some people want good quality insurance. There's 1,000 things that people may want to have from you as an employer. Understanding that is going to help you build a culture because you're paying attention. As a salesperson, why are they interested in your product? Why? Right? Everyone's like, well, because, for example, I like to use appliances because everyone needs a refrigerator. Okay. Did their fridge die on them? Because if their fridge died on them, how important is that why? Right? If they are interested in their fridge because they're remodeling their kitchen, how important is that why? Understanding at what point someone is in the buying cycle is about understanding their why in your product. For example, as a business consultant, I always think that I assume the why, right? I can go into any retail business and increase their profits from 10 to 30% on any given day. I've been doing this for a long enough time. I've worked for companies up to $100 million, as small as $1 million a year, and there's always room for improvement, and having outside eyes with an expertise allows me to do that. So I assume that everyone I talk to wants to increase their profits by 10 to 30%. However, that's not always true. So let me tell you a story. So I actually had a client that I was building a marketing campaign for because we were trying to increase his business, right? That was what he'd been talking about, and that was been done, but I couldn't get him to sign the contract. So I actually had a manager come in that I was good friends with to help me figure out this deal because I just couldn't close the deal. And it was because I wasn't paying attention. So when we walked in to his office, my good friend, who was a manager at a pretty well-known advertising firm, started asking questions, talking to the guy about golf. Now, I know nothing about golf, but I could see there were golf clubs in the corner, and they were covered in dust. I could see that. He had pictures on the wall of courses that he had played, and so they started talking about golf, and all of a sudden, my friend says, hey, when's the last time you actually played around a golf? And the guy's like, well, it's been like 3 months. I'm just so busy, I don't have time. He's like, oh, so, you're looking to ramp up the business, or are you looking for, to get more time in your business, time away so you can go play that golf? He's like, well, I figured that if I can get the business to get increased in sales, that would give me a little bit more money, and, I could really use that money to, afford to go and do that. We about lost a light there, folks. That was exciting. So a light almost went tumbling down. So I'm not cutting that out. It's staying in. So my boss ended up going in and basically, my boss, a good friend of mine who was my boss and now a friend, said, well, why don't we, instead of building the marketing campaign, why don't we go ahead and look for someone that can actually run this? We'll spend about the same amount of money, and then that will alleviate your time, and then you'll be able to actually hire someone so you can get away. That seems like a better use of your investment. He's like, actually, that sounds great. I mean, it'll cost me a little bit per month, but over a long term, I'll actually be able to step away. So instead of creating this entire campaign around marketing, we went and created a hiring campaign, and we trained his new COO. And all of a sudden, client for life. It's one of those things where I wasn't paying attention to what he wanted. I assumed he wanted to increase his business, because isn't that what any business owner wants? No, some people want more time. They want to be able to stop thinking about things. They want to not have to delve into spreadsheet after spreadsheet to find out what's profitable. So you have to pay attention, including myself, to what your clients are looking for. Why are they interested in your product? My product as a consultant allows me to analyze processes and human behaviors to either 1, increase efficiencies, or 2, make more money by decreasing it, or 3, fix the sales process. So I assume people want more profits. Some people want more time. Some people want a better culture. People are driven by different things, and understanding why someone is interested in your product, it's not always clear-cut as you think, okay? 4th, what is important to your client? Okay, now you think that this is why are they interested in your client, but the reality is, why are they interested versus what's important? Okay. Why are they interested is a surface level thought, right? It's what they think. Sometimes it's deeper, like playing golf. But what's important to your client is the deeper stuff. It's the stuff like what I was talking about with my client. What did he find important? So Dean Graziosi said, sometimes you have to give people what they want, sell people what they want, but give them what they need. Sell people what they want and give them what they need. When you can do that, you can actually create clients that transcend just a closed deal, because people understand that you took the time to understand them right there, right? Who is your prospect or client? And when you truly do understand them, you will know what's important. So these are the questions, though. These are the questions you have to ask. Who is your prospect or client? What is it they want? Why are they interested in your, hey, look, change back to client. We're going to change that again into your product. There we go. And what is important to not you, your, hey, see, look at that. That's what happens when you throw things together too fast. So the bottom line, guys, is that understanding your client or prospect or the people that work for you is a lot deeper than just a surface level understanding. So when we're really delving into it, it's really the who, the whys, the who's, and the whats. The whys are the pain points that your product solves, right? The who is understanding genuinely who someone is and what's important to them as a person, right? And the what is important to them. And this is the consumer perceived service value of your product, right? So what's important to them? What are the things that they're looking for when they're looking at your product, right? That's surface level. And you always have to fulfill, the what's they want. But at the same time, the who's, you really have to understand someone. Because when you actually have, that who, understanding who, and I put it down there, understanding who they are so they get a feeling of who you are. When you genuinely understand someone, they trust you. Why? Because you took the time to understand them. That is a reality, right? So, and the pain points that your product solves, that really, if you can actually solve that pain product, that's why they should trust you right there. You took the time to listen to their what their pain points are, and you solved it with your product. And then, of course, the what? The final point, what's in it for them, right? That's where it all comes down to, is that if I feel understood by you, you've solved my pain points, and you've shown me what's in it for me as a client, I buy. And it's not just clients, this is leadership too, right? If you've taken genuine interest in me and you've actually taken the time to really get to know me and show me why I should be doing what I'm doing, I trust you. And then if you give something, you show me what's in it for me, and then you let me have what's in it for me, I'm yours. So a lot of this is high level concepts, but this is the golden key. This is the final thing, guys. This is what makes the difference when you are a base level sales associate. It's closing sales for people walking through your door, and when people are actually buying your product and referring people. I'll tell you a story of two properties. So I'm looking for a property down in Florida, and we went to two different places. And I never really thought about going in and doing kind of like resort style living. And this sales associate took the time to get to know me and my family, and showed us the amenities and tied it back to what we were looking for, and said, hey, I don't know if what we have is perfect for you, because we're missing this big thing. And nobody here has this, just because it's not allowed in this county, so you can't have what you're looking for. He was straightforward with me. He's like, this would be the closest thing that I've got, and I think you'd like it. However, you're not going to spend a lot of time in your home, and let me show you why. And then he showed us all the amenities out there. And so it's those kinds of things that make a huge difference in it. Then we went to their sister property, same builder, different property, and literally the guy we met, I can't call him anything other than a jerk off. That's the nicest, politest thing I can call him. Just started spouting stuff to us and why they were better, and what was going on, and they had something for everyone, and we shouldn't be concerned with certain things. Never once did he ask a single question, or do I think he even listened to the things that we were telling him to listen to. Same property, same company, two different properties, and one of them I will not buy at. Even though they had a house that actually would suit us better, I'm not buying there purely because of the salesperson. So understand that even when you do have a superior product, if someone understands your client better than you do and makes them feel that way, even if your products are almost identical, that's where someone's going to go. So you really have to understand that understanding is what's going to allow you to give someone the feeling that you care. Because if I can show you that I understand you, you will trust me. The other guy, he actually may have been telling more truth than the first guy, but I don't think he understood me at all. It never once did it cross me that he actually was doing something or asking questions or listening or tying back to what we had told him at any point in time. So same thing goes for leadership. So I talk a lot about sales in this, but we're going to step one step back and understand for leadership. I had a sales associate once that was having some major problems at home. And so he was about to be fired by a superior manager, a senior manager, and I said, hey, give him to me. And they're like, are you sure? I'm like, absolutely. This is someone that I want, I trust, I've worked with before, and I had worked with him before, but they were going through some tough times. I brought him on, I said, here's the deal. You need to get your stuff together. You can either go now, or you can leave in a month and take some time off to get your shit together. And they ended up taking time off then. And they were gone for 2 weeks. And it was one of the hardest 2 weeks I've worked because I only had 4 direct reports for me, and one of them was gone. And our sales were up about 40% over what they were. So I had to step in and fill in the gap of this individual. And when he came back, it wasn't much better for the first week. And then things changed. And then the person was willing to do pretty much whatever I told them to do. Not because I told them, but because I needed his help to run the store, run the shop, and get everything done, to be there for everyone else. He was practically my right-hand person, and it didn't pay him more. He actually made less because he was straight commission sales associate, making less to help me. But you know why he helped me? Because I understood him. And when he needed me to be there, I was there. And I always would be. And everyone in that shop knew it. At first, when I sent him away for 2 weeks with an unpaid leave, which was not allowed by the company, everyone in that shop was like, why are you doing that? Why take care of him? And I said, well, for a couple reasons. I was like, if you had something come up in your life, would you want me to understand and be there for you? And the look on their face was amazing as they realized, well, yeah, I would. And then we take it a step further, and they said, well, what about him? I was like, well, do you think he's not going to know that you were here helping? So understand that those are the kinds of things that are going to make a difference. They're going to understanding your people, and it doesn't mean you have to break rules. Because trust me, I've had people be late, and some of my best writers out there. And when they walk in the door, I'm like, okay, have a day off. Take care. I have one rule. One rule is that you call me if you're going to be late or text me. I don't care which, but before your shift starts, you must let me know if you're going to be late. Traffic happens. Accidents happens. That rule of if you're late, you get written up or you only get 3 lates, that's total BS. It's one thing if someone's consistently late by 5 minutes. I've had to deal with that too. But if someone's late once or twice, then hey, just let me know. But if someone texts me, hey, that's a good thing. I used to have an associate that only lived about 30 minutes away. But if you've ever lived in Denver, going down I-25, a 30-minute trip can become an hour-and-a-half trip, and you'll never know that it's coming. So he always left an hour early. So he'd sometimes get to work half an hour early. Sometimes he'd get to work half an hour late. But he would always let me know. And he let me know usually an hour before his shift's going to start because he would leave an hour early, and all of a sudden he hit traffic, know it's going to take an hour and a half, and boom, I'd get a phone call at 6 o'clock in the morning before I'm even at work. So it's one of those things that understanding people as a leader does not mean you have to let them get away with everything. And, just take it for what it is. So guys, that's it. That is the single, most basic key to success that you're ever going to have, and it's going to work for you. We're trying out some new technology, so thanks for sticking with me on the typos and that kind of stuff. We're working on some stuff to be able to actually show some text. My focus is way off on my camera. I don't know what's going on, but I hope you got the message. If you want more information and you want to actually hang out with some more and learn more, either one, you can go to our YouTube channel, which I'll have a link to in this video, or you found it on YouTube, or I'm going to have also a link to our closed Facebook group, Organic Selling Mastery, which is not just about sales, it's about sales and it's about leadership. You can join us on that as well. Please do me a favor. I should have said it at the beginning, but I didn't. I bet you're still not here, but if you are, share this video and get this message out. Anyone that you know, any group that you're part of, feel free to send this out to them, because anyone can use this and hear this, because I think everyone needs to hear this. If the world was filled with salespeople that truly understood, organic growth would not be a problem. or organic hiring. When we talk about organic growth, which I think we're going to have to do a video on, organic growth is more than just, sales. It's about organic leadership as well. It's about being able to hire people that are referred in, where you don't even have to go and find people because people are coming to you before you even post jobs. That's organic growth. So if you guys share it, get it out there, enjoy it. Thank you very much, and see you on the flip side.